In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God said that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. I state that Catholicism is the true religion because it most truly protects, nourishes, and develops the human being in his fullness. Of all religions, Catholicism cuts close to the heart of what it means to be a human being. Its doctrine, laws, and promises meet us where we are, prevent us from exasperating our situation, and bring us to God, the ultimate end of our existence, not via easy street. A route foreign to human nature, but via cavalry. In the cross we find redemption, and with it the truth of our humanity.
Hey guys, so today we're going to talk a little bit about the beginning of the Spanish Inquisition. The fear of Jewish influence led Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand to write a petition to the Pope about the Inquisition in Spain. In 1843, Tomás de Torquemada was named the Inquisition General of Spain. From 1486 to 1492, 25 autos de fe, or gatherings where people would confess, were held in Toledo. Around 462 people were killed at the stake or imprisoned. More than 13,000 conversos, or people who have converted to Christianity.
Now that I've converted to Christianity, I just feel so much better with my life.
Specifically from being Jewish or Muslim, were put on trial during the first 12 years of the Spanish Inquisition. Pope Paul III granted King Manuel I permission to start an Inquisition in Portugal in 1536 because of the flock of Jewish and Muslim people coming to Portugal after the expulsion in Spain in 1492. Jews, as well as Muslims, began to rebel against the anti-Jewish protests. King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella declared that Jews had 4 months to get out of Spain, or else they would be killed.
I am Queen Isabella, and therefore I banish you peasants! Get out of here! Get out of here!
Baptized Jews were known as New Christians because of their conversion from Judaism to Christianity. So, baptism for Jews has simply turned them from infidels outside of the church to heretics inside of the church. So the origins of the Spanish Inquisition began in Rome around the 1100s, instituted by Pope Innocent III. By 1255, the Inquisition was in full gear throughout Central and Western Europe. Those accused of heresy were punished by being sent to confinement in dungeons, physical abuse, and torture.
Stop! Who are you?
We're only peasants. We're just trying to pass through.
What are your names?
I am Erica, and these are my children, Noah and Julia. Please, we mean no harm. Agnes.
I heard rumor of 3 heretics in this area. They're named Agnes, Erica, and Noah.
No.
And I think that would be you guys.
Please, no.
You're coming with me. Get up! No! 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 Get up! No! 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 Go! No! Get off of him! If you don't confess to your heretic ways, I'll torture out of you. Knowing that, does anyone want to confess?
I'm a Jew.
Come with me.
Julia!
Let's talk a little bit about the methods of the Spanish Inquisition. Jewish converts would be arrested and accused of not being true Christians. They wouldn't even know who was accusing them.
Like, I have no idea who's accusing me. Who could it be?
Evidence would be presented against them in secret, then they would be tortured until they confessed to being heretics. Then, once they confessed, they would be killed. The usual form was burning at the stake, though if they were willing to kiss the cross, they would be spared the horrible pain of burning and instead would be strangled. Inquisitors needed to extract the confession because they believed it was their duty to bring the accused back to their faith. A true confession resulted in the accused being forgiven, but he was usually still forced to absolve himself by performing penances, such as pilgrimages or wearing multiple heavy crosses.
I'll only accept your confession if you give the others up.
Don't do it!
Shut up!
Yeah, they're both Jews. Oh,
Stop!
no, please,
Move!
please,
You're coming with me!
please, no, please.
Pick up the cross!
Oh my God.
Pick it up!
No, ow, please, no, please.
This heretic has also shown that she's not a true Christian. What religion do you follow?
Christianity.
I can't hear
No!
you!
Christianity.
What? We'll see what you say in 30 hours! Shut up!
If the accused did not confess, the inquisitors could sentence him to life imprisonment. Repeat offenders, people who confessed, then repealed their confessions and publicly retracted to their heretical ways, could be abandoned. Basically, it meant that although the inquisitors would not kill them, other people could. Strapado is a form of torture that began with the medieval Inquisition. In one version, the hands of the accused were tied behind their back, and they were looped over a brace in the ceiling of the chamber attached to a pulley. The subject was then raised until their shoulders became dislocated. Sometimes, the torturer would add a series of drops, jerking the subject up and down. Weights could also be added to the feet to make it more painful.
We've talked about the popular beliefs of the Spanish Inquisition, but in reality, it was actually a popular misconception that the Spanish Inquisition used tons of torture. In reality, torture was highly regulated. It took a lot of manpower and it was time-consuming. It was only applied for two reasons. One, to gain confession from a prisoner who was reluctant to confess.
If you don't confess to your heretic ways, I'll torture it out of you.
Or two, to gain information about other
Heretics. No, heretics.
Okay. Or two, to gain information about other heretics.
Heretics.
Or two, to gain information about other heretics. Why is that so hard? Or two, to gain information about other heretics. No!
Heretics.
Heretics. Heretics. Or two, to gain information about other... Or two, to gain other information about other heretics.
I'll only accept your confession if you give the others up.
Don't do it.
Shut up!
So, if the tribunal was satisfied that a prisoner, after being interrogated, had confessed and supplied the information that was wanted, and this happened frequently, then they would call for torture. The elderly and sick wouldn't be tortured.
Oh, I really want to torture you,
My back.
but I can't because you're an old hag.
Whenever torture was administered, a physician was elected to be present in order to be suspended. The elderly and sick would not be tortured. Whenever the torture was administered, a physician was expected to be present in order to suspend the proceedings if they felt the prisoner's life was in danger. So, it was not automatic, it was not discriminating, and it was actually much more regulated than torture in civil courts at this time. The punishments of the Spanish Inquisition were not as horrible as it normally believed. Not by a long shot was every victim of the Inquisition burned at stake. There were many other punishments. Some of them were severe. For example, public lashings, which could be humiliating as well as painful.
10 lashes for the heretics! One!
Further imprisonment. One of the worst was services in the galleys. That was rowing in the galleys of ships. Some of them were lighter. It could be a mere reprimand by the Inquisitor,
No.
or scolding, or taking a pledge to be loyal to the church. It could be paying a severe penalty. It could be exile from the town or religion for the specific period. There's a study of 44,000 cases, a little less than half of the cases after 1450. Out of those 44,674 cases, 824 were burned at the stake. That's still a lot of people, but it's less than 2% of those arrested and tried, and a lot less than most people think.
So I'm going to talk to you today about the end of the Inquisition. Spanish. Okay.
Stop.
Sorry. Hey guys. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the end of the Spanish Inquisition. It came to an end very slowly. It was sort of a moribund by the Enlightenment, when some Spaniards were questioning the justice that the Inquisition was dispensing. However, it remained a fairly popular institution. It was abolished only by Napoleon's invasion of Spain in 1808, when Napoleon set up a liberal regime.
Stop! I am Napoleon, and I have conquered Spain. There shall no longer be any inquisitioning.
But it's so fun.
But when the French were driven out 5 years later, the Inquisition was re-established.
Pick up the cross!
It was only finally abolished in 1834. Shockingly late. This all came in the first place because the state stopped being a mere social organizer and began to worry about the well-being of the public. As a result, they reconsidered the landholding power of the church. This was all a result of Enlightenment ideas. On the other hand, the perennial struggle between power of the throne and the power of the church inclined more and more forward, under which Enlightenment thinkers found better protection of their ideas. Thank you. Have a good day.
Wait,
Okay,
more
wait.
and more former?
To the
I didn't understand what that meant.
I know, I missed 2 words. On the other hand, the perennial struggle between the power of the church and the power of the, I forgot to say throne.
You're very loud. What do you
I
need?
know, we're leaving. I just forgot.
It's okay, it's all good. On the other hand,
No.
You gotta wait.
Yeah, there's crashing in the
Here, I'll
background.
sing. I'll sing.
No.
I'll sing with you.
Thank you. Go.
Because of you. You should have a musical.
No, keep
Musical
going,
number.
keep going. I'm gonna dance.
Because of you, I never stray too far to
Why'd you go Mexican?
It's not Mexican, it's like Arabian.
On the other hand, the perennial struggle between the power of the throne and the power of the church inclined more and more to the former, under which Enlightenment thinkers found better protection of their ideas. Thank you. Have a great day.
Well, its goals changed. It was never entirely successful at suppressing nonconformists and heretical thinking of all sorts. But it was quite successful at suppressing the public expression of dissent. Spain really bypassed a whole era in the development of European thinking. It wasn't hermetically sealed off, but through censorship, the Inquisition prevented the entry into Spain of publications that challenged the remaining orthodoxy. Spain was denied the benefits of artisans, intellectuals, and other free thinkers that made enlightened states like Great Britain, well, great, thus leading to the decline of Spain as a world power. Garcia Carcel estimates that the total number processed by the Inquisition throughout its history was approximately 150,000. Applying the percentages of executions that appeared in the trials of 1560 through 1700, about 2%. The approximate total would be about 3,000 put to death. But the actual number is probably between 3,000 to 500, which is a rate less than the number of criminals executed each year in Texas.
3,000 to 5,000.
You said 500.
No.
Son of a bitch.
I gotta do it all over again?
Start at the statistics.
I got it all again.
Ramble.
Like a red.
But the actual number is probably closer to 3,000 to 5,000, which is a rate less than the number of criminals executed each year in Texas. What, was that not good?
No, that was fine. Just, I don't know what
Okay.
it says at the end.
Well, I thought you'd like cut that out.
Yeah, I can't.
Please don't cut it out. The whole class can be for sets.
Video!
What?
How about when Napoleon comes, we like beat down on the Inquisitor?
Okay.
Waves, bro. Not chill, bro.
Morgan!
Chill, bro. Carolyn! Winner.
Come with me.
Julia!
You're supposed to come with me.
I just spit so much. No me gusta. Es un malo
Quiet, peasants!
This is what happens to heretics. Ah,
What? What happened? That was good.
I know.
Wait, why'd you stop then?
Camilla, you screwed it up.
Go!
Confession if you give the others up.
Shut up!
Yeah, they're both Jews.
Go!
Don't do it! Don't say anything! They're Jews as well. They're both Jews. Sam, Sam,
Check in
swing that way when I go like that. Okay, ready, go.
Not conquered anymore.
Okay, can I have someone's phone?
Morgan, grab your stomach and laugh. No, do it again. Carolyn, grab your stomach and laugh.
So today,
That was so scary.